Hello. Um, this is my presentation on John Punch. My name is Dimitri Sakalia, and here we go. So, introducing John Punch. He is the first official slave in the 13 colonies. Was initially an indentured servant working for a wealthy landowner in Virginia, meaning he was like working around the house, basically did anything what they need. Um, Going on to my next slide, due to like very harsh labor and like all the things that you could think, like the worst things that could someone could treat someone, um, John Punch was said enough and he decided to escape, and his attempt failed. He ended up getting caught, and that made him, um, or the court made him a full-time slave for the remainder of his life. Um, uh, he was the first instant slavery, first instant. This was the first instant of slavery within the English colonies. First time when discrimination and oppression against African Americans began. Uh, the institution of slavery replaced indentured servants due to high demand for labor. African Americans were targeted for slavery. Many African Americans were shipped to the colonies to use for manual labor. So basically, what happened was, um, after they made him a slave, they basically decided, okay, we're gonna go to Africa and we're gonna go get more African Americans to basically put them in harsh conditions and just put them to work and treat them like they're nothing, basically. And it's horrible, but that's really what happened. So the institution of slavery placed indentured servants. So they were working for something. Now they're just working for free. Basically, they are being bought and they are being put to work. Um, African Americans were like the prime target for slavery. Many African Americans were shipped to colonies just for manual labor, which is just horrible. Uh, it was one of the first instances, so African Americans were really treated like property. It was interesting to understand how this all started. Like, it was just crazy how it started as being called an indentured servant to basically being called an object or a thing, which is horrible because we are all human. How does the topic contribute to African American history? After John Punch was sentenced to slavery, many African Americans were shipped. So basically, after he got caught, um, they basically made just uh, a way to bring more and more people from their homelands to put to work in some foreign country. The institution of slavery replaced indentured servants. So like they basically just changed everything. Servants were called slaves, and they're not. They're nothing anymore. They have no meaning to life basically, and it was just crazy how people could think like that and just switch their ways about someone. Like just because of John Punch, um, just wanting freedom, they decided to take everybody else's freedom in terms of them living their own life to become a better person, um, which was crazy. And I feel like he should have had a choice to either work for that wealthy man or go do something for his life and go change something. Um, the man that John Punch worked for as an indentured servant was a member of the House of Burgess. So he may have had an influence in colonial law. This may have contributed to the fact that John Punch became a full-time slave. And I definitely believe this is true because I mean, it went from something that someone wants their own freedom to okay, we're going to just take everything from you and we're going to take everything else from your people basically, and it's insane. Um, Slaves had to work their masters. I gotta say that again because they're not really masters full time, and were treated like property. Um, these servants were lower class workers who only work for a certain period. I mean, they were just working for nothing basically. It was insane. Even after the writing of the Declaration of Independence, slavery continued to increase in the United States despite the fact that it violates human rights. How did this research impact you? I am interested in like understanding why discrimination takes place against African Americans and why the white complains, claims themselves to be superior to them, because we're all human, we're all the same, and we all bleed the same. So yeah, interest learning about how slavery started, and also just interested in learning everything about slavery because it's our history, and I feel like discrimination still needs to be worked on and needs to be changed till this day. I thank you for being here to watch my presentation and have a great day. Thank you.